Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off your hot and cold water supplies. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Samsung washer suspension support rod. It's going to be a very easy repair and it's only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new suspension support rod. The suspension support rod is what supports the washer tub. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's damaged and your tub is going out of balance. In order to get to the part, we have to lift up the top of the machine, so we're going to go around back and remove the screws. We're going to take our Phillips screwdriver and remove the two big screws that hold the top to the frame. There's one on each side. All you have to do is unscrew them. Then we can remove this small access panel. If we don't take it out, when we try to lift it up, it's going to jam up right here. So we're going to take a Phillips screwdriver and remove this screw too. Once you have it out, you can carefully pull the panel off and set it aside. Now that we're back at the front of the machine, we can tape the lid down. You want to make sure it doesn't fall open when you lift the whole top up. So put a piece of tape on it to hold it down, and then we can grab a putty knife and go about 6.5 inches from each corner. There's a little metal release tab. You should be able to feel it, and once you hit it, you'll be able to feel it as you push in. It springs back, so you can press that in and then lift up on the top. Once you have one side released, then you can go down and do the other one. Now that we have the clips released, we can lift the top up. You want to be very careful with this as you lift it up. You're going to have to bring it forward a little bit and make sure that the brackets where the screws went through on the back come up and rest in these little drop-ins where the suspension springs are. And then you want to get a piece of wood, and just like a car, you want to put it in here so the top is supported. And you just want to be careful because there's no hinges on the back, and you just want to make sure you don't drop it while you're working on it. The suspension support rods are located in each corner of the washer. We're going to show you how to change out this left front one. If you're changing them all out, you do have to shift your top around to get to the back ones or where you have the wood to support it. The only one that's changed out differently is the one in the right rear. You'll notice that there's a clip halfway down that holds the water level pressure switch hose and the wire harness. You want to make sure you take that off. All you have to do is unclip it, and when you put it back on, once you have the new rod in, you want to make sure it goes in the same place so nothing gets brushed up or touches the actual support rod except for the clip itself. In order to get the suspension support rod out, you may have to push the tub out of the way a little bit and then reach down and grab the actual rod. And you want to lift it up so we can get this bushing and slide it out of that little cutout. Once you have it out, you can lower it down, and then the bottom half is the same thing. There's a bushing down there with a little cutout. You want to drop the rod down just far enough so it comes out, and then you can pull it out of the washer. Here's the old suspension support rod next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. The upper ends of the suspension support rod don't come greased, so check your pocket right here. If you have any of these white particles, make sure you clean them out. And then you can use some Sil-Glyde or some lithium grease, white lithium grease, and put some in here so when you set the new rod down, it has a good amount to slide around on. The spring itself comes lubed from the manufacturer, but we're going to put a little bit of white lithium grease or Sil-Glyde right here around this upper part of the spring, the bushing that sits into the tub, so that when the tub is bouncing around on it, it slides around easier. Once you have a little bit of grease on it, we can put it in the washer. To put the new suspension support rod in, we're going to push the tub over to the side again. The lower half is greased already. The spring is already greased up. So all you have to do is drop it down into place. And same as when you took it out, put it through the little slot and lift up on it. Once you have it in, you can lift up on the suspension rod itself and make sure you lift up high enough so it's above this little bracket, and then slide it over into place and set it down. Once you have the suspension support rod in place, you can go around and do the other three if needed. Now that we have the part installed, we can put the top down. You want to lift it up carefully and pull the wood out. And then you have to lift the back up so that comes out of the bracket, and set the top back a little bit, and then set it down so we can close it and it lines up with all the pins so we can snap it back in place. Once you have everything lined up, you can just snap it back down so the retainer clips lock it in. And then we can take off the tape off the lid. Now that we have the top back down, we can put this access cover back on. Just like when we took it off, you're probably going to have to pry it out a little bit with your screwdriver to get it over that tab. Once you have it down in place, you can kind of twist it at an angle to get the tabs in. And then we can put the screw in with our Phillips screwdriver to hold it in place. Once you have the cover back in place, we can put the two screws in to hold the top to the frame. Now that you have the washer put back together, we can plug it back in, turn the water back on, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.